So some breakfast places make you work a little to find them, and sometimes that turns out to be a very good sign. It took me 3 tries to find More Than Waffles. It's tucked away in the back of the Encino town center, and it's down on a lower level, and if you don't know where you're going, you could easily miss it. But I finally found it, and I can tell you right now my persistence was rewarded. More Than Waffles is one of those hidden breakfast places that delivers far more than its location suggests, with excellent food, warm atmosphere, strong service, and a breakfast plate that absolutely belongs in this conversation. Hi, I'm Frank Spencer, Mr. Chatsworth, and today we continue the search for the best breakfasts in the valleys. The stop took me to More Than Waffles, and I have to tell you, this one just did not come easy. It took me 3 attempts to finally find this place. It's not visible from the street. It sits in the back of the Encino Town Center at 17,200 Ventura Boulevard, and it's on a lower level. And if you don't know where you're going, like me, you could drive right past it. But I finally found it, and my persistence, I gotta say, it was rewarded. Let's start with the setting. The open patio seating was sunny, comfortable, and inviting, with ample shade and a gentle breeze moving through the space. For anyone who chose to sit outside, it created a pleasant way to begin the morning. But then there's the interior. The best way I can describe it is this: it felt like every grandmother's dining room and every grandchild's favorite memory. It was warm, comforting, and familiar. This kind of place feels like breakfast should feel. Once again, I stayed true to form. I ordered the corned beef hash. And at this point, I think it's safe to say, if nothing else, I'm consistent. And because their business name includes waffles, I really had no choice but to sample the waffle as well. Now, as most of you know, I tend to lean heavily toward protein-based food. Carbs are not usually my first choice. But this was one of those moments where I was very willing to step outside my usual routine, and I'm so glad I did. Let's talk about the waffle first. Now, if I'm being completely fair, temperature was a little cooler than I would have preferred. That's worth mentioning, but the flavor? Huh, delicious. It was light, fluffy, buttery, and thoroughly enjoyable. No syrup needed for me. This was one of those moments where straying from my usual diet just felt justified, and I enjoyed it immensely. Now let's get to the star of my plate. The corned beef hash was stunningly delicious. What impressed me most was the layered flavor. Every bite seemed to reveal something just a little bit different. It was rich, balanced, and deeply satisfying. And the poached eggs, well, they were cooked perfectly. The whites were firm and well defined, and the yolks simply sublime. As they broke and cascaded over the corned beef, they became the perfect complement to a very well executed hash. This was a breakfast plate that clearly knew what it was doing. Now let's talk about the hash browns. Not hash browns, home cooked potatoes, and exactly as Grandma would have cooked, I can assure you. Large chunks of crispy potato, um, cooked with fresh onion and a lot of love. They were a pleasant surprise, and while I didn't eat them all, I wanted to. Now we got a couple other surprises that were on this plate, and both of them were very good. Number one, the salsa. It's rare that Breakfast House offers a truly good salsa. Usually you get Tabasco or something similar, and that's the end of it. But here they brought out a delicious house-made salsa. It wasn't especially hot, which is it's okay. I prefer spicy, but it was fresh, it was flavorful, and a very welcome addition to the meal. For me, I think it elevated the plate. Surprise number two was the bacon, because usually with a hash plate, you have to order bacon or sausage on the side. This came with the plate. And too often, it turns out to be forgettable, but not here. The bacon came with the meal. It was thick cut, cooked perfectly, and absolutely delicious. I have to tell you, I was in heaven as I worked my way through it. Now, I gotta say, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the coffee. I don't know what brand they're serving there, but I very much want to know. It was a dark roast, aromatic, and yet somehow it carried floral hints at the same time. I couldn't get enough of it. That coffee made an already excellent breakfast even better. And as always, for me, the tiebreaker and the final judgment always is service. And this service was excellent when the restaurant combined strong food, a warm setting, and attentive service. You begin to understand quickly why it stands out. This is absolutely a place I would eat at again. So now the big question becomes, where does More Than Waffles fit in the search for the best breakfast in the valleys? It's a question that makes this series so much fun because this place did more than just show up. It made a real case for itself. And as we move closer to the final rankings, that makes the next step very interesting. So if you've been to More Than Waffles, I'd love to know what you order and what you think. And if there's a breakfast